The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
And good morning, Kern County. It is 5 a.m. on this finally Friday. I'm Alex Fisher alongside Elena Rusk, and we begin with a news story from overnight. A man lost his life following a crash in South Bakersfield. It happened at the intersection of Gosford Road and District Boulevard. Police say the man was speeding and ran a red light. He hit another car before plowing into a tree, which ultimately killed him. The driver of the other car had minor injuries. There was another deadly crash that happened on the same street just 2 days ago, about a couple miles down the road.
And out of your 17 Crime Watch, the family of a toddler who died under suspicious circumstances this week is calling for justice.
No justice! No peace! Get these baby killers off our streets!
So that's the group chanting, "Get these baby killers off our streets." Family members and friends of 2-year-old Ezekiel Rivera marching to the home where the toddler died in East Bakersfield near Hillcrest Memorial Park. The call came in late Monday night for a child who had possibly overdosed on fentanyl. However, the coroner has not confirmed the child's cause of death yet. No one has been arrested and no suspects yet named in the child's death.
Turning to a big shakeup at the top of Kern County's government, 17 News has learned County Administrative Officer Ryan Alsop has been hired in Napa County. He will become the new county executive officer for the Board of Supervisors over there. Alsop's career spans both public service and private sector leadership roles. In an email to 17 News, Alsop said in part, "My decision to leave Kern County was a tough one. Not only am I leaving family, friends, and a community I care deeply about, but also a job that has been incredibly rewarding, working for and with the people that I love and respect, and whom I'm going to miss tremendously." Alsop starts his new job August 7th. There's no word yet on who will become Kern's next top executive.
Well, making news around the nation, a bombshell announcement about former President Donald Trump. A federal grand jury has indicted the former president on 7 criminal charges in connection with the mishandling of more than 100 classified documents that were discovered last year at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. NBC's Bree Jackson is in Washington with the latest.
Mr. Trump, can we have
Former President Trump indicted on 7 criminal charges in connection to more than 100 classified documents seized from his Florida estate. Trump claiming innocence in this video posted online.
I did nothing wrong, and we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years.
The indictment is sealed, but 2 sources briefed on the matter say charges include false statements. His legal team says there's at least 1 charge related to the Espionage Act.
I think there was a conspiracy count as well. There's not going to be an arrest. This is coming in on a summons.
A spokesperson for the special counsel declined to comment on the case. Experts say let the legal process play out.
It's not enough that you have a strong case. It is also important that the public understand that this is not selective prosecution, that this is not somebody who's singled out, that he's being treated just like anyone else, and there are legions of cases of people who did far less who are in jail because of this kind of conduct.
Trump allies are weighing in. On Twitter, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy called the indictment a dark day for the United States of America. GOP presidential challengers are also defending the frontrunner.
What we've seen over the last several years is the weaponization of the Department of Justice against the former president.
Trump insists the charges are politically motivated.
They're trying to destroy your reputation so they can win an election.
This marks the 2nd time the former president has been indicted since he left office. And former President Trump is scheduled to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami next Tuesday. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Now to an update on that smoke in New York City from the Canadian wildfires. The good news is air quality is improving, but it is still considered unhealthy in the Big Apple. City leaders say they expect the advisory to remain in place for the next few days. City hospitals say there has been an uptick in asthma-related emergency room visits. Many are still taking extra precautions. New York City's mayor directed police and firefighters to hand out N95 masks.
And just one day after New York skies turned orange with the smoke, Philadelphia has now followed suit. The city of brotherly love now has the worst air quality in the world. As a result of the diminished air quality, schools in Philly have shifted to virtual learning for today. The Philadelphia Health Department said the particles in the air are unhealthy but did appear to be improving. It's not yet clear if schools will be able to return to normal next week. And this is something we know well, so we can sympathize with how hard it is.
Absolutely. Turn our coverage to our coverage of the war in Ukraine. And we have new satellite images of the area surrounding the dam that was busted in Ukraine earlier this week. Clearly, you can see homes and buildings almost completely covered by the sea. So again, this dam busted just a couple of days ago, and you are now looking at the devastation left behind.
Well, a campus security guard at Arvin High School is accused of using his Instagram account to sell explosives and has been arrested for it. 26-year-old Angelo Mendever is facing a 6-count indictment by a federal grand jury. The complaint says he worked closely with a student from East Bakersfield High School. Prosecutors say a search of his home found 500 pounds of explosives, and another 500 pounds were reportedly seized at the student's house. Mendever is scheduled for arraignment next Thursday. And Wasco Police Chief Charlie Fivecoat continues to make progress on reestablishing the city's police department. This week, we're getting a first look at the department's new patrol vehicles. The city voting last year to establish its own police force independent of the Kern County Sheriff's Office. Since then, the police department has also unveiled a new insignia. According to Wasco Vice Mayor Alex Garcia, the next step includes hiring personnel.
5:34 is your time now, and it is Pride Month in many parts of the world. Here in Bakersfield, an LGBTQ event organizer says it is important for gay people to have a voice because many times their voice is under attack. 17's Michaela Armstrong has more.
We've been silenced for so long.
Fatima Agredano, founder of the social media group Bakersfield Gays, a growing resource for events, news, and more in the LGBTQ community, says even with few pride events throughout the city, the LGBTQ community in Bakersfield can't be stopped.
I'm proud of being who I am, and I think people get mad at the fact that we're prideful, but it's finally accepting who we are. It's finally not being shut in the closet. It's finally not being unrepresented.
This year marks 54 years since the Stonewall Inn riots, a series of protests that served as a catalyst for the gay rights movement and led to June being declared Pride Month. But Agredano says in Bakersfield, it is still a fight.
There's a lot of violence here in Bakersfield, unfortunately, and especially towards us, towards our group of people. So I think people are scared. I mean, you could just wear something colorful as this or wear a pride flag and people will throw things at you or yell things at you.
So far in Bakersfield, there has been a pride fair and an exhibit at the Bakersfield Museum of Art. Agredano hopes as more events come, the city will make an effort to celebrate the resilience and perseverance of the LGBTQ community.
They just want a space like you do. They just want to be able to be themselves in a community where everybody can accept them, where they won't be judged, they won't be harmed. We just all want to be respected.
Michaela Armstrong, 17 News.
All right, making headlines around the state, California Governor Gavin Newsom launching a national effort to support gun reform through a proposed 28th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
To protect our communities and protect our freedom, support the 28th.
Now, Newsom sharing that video on his social media accounts, saying the amendment would raise the minimum age to purchase a gun to 21, create universal background checks, generate a waiting period for gun purchases, and ban civilian purchases of assault weapons.
Every time it's the same. They tell us we can't stop these massacres. They tell us we have to stand by and watch tragedy after tragedy unfold in our communities. They say we can't stop domestic terrorism without violating the Second Amendment, and that thoughts and prayers are the best we can do. I'm here to say that's a lie. In this country,
Now, creating a U.S. constitutional amendment is no easy task. It will require 2/3 of the states to call for a constitutional convention. 3/4 of the states must then ratify the proposed amendment for it to officially go into effect. This hasn't happened since 1992.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.